If you've been thinking about becoming a registered behavior technician, but you don't know how long it will actually take, watch this video. This is the video that you want to watch if you don't want to waste time. If you want the strategies you need to execute in order to get those 3 letters as soon as possible. I'm Dom, the BCBA mom, and welcome back to my channel. Let's get this on here and let's get right into it. Many of you were introduced to this field of behavior analysis. You may have been called to this field in some way. Maybe you thought you were going to be a psychologist or a social worker, or you just love helping people. However you found this channel and however you found out about this career, this is the video that you want to watch if you don't want to waste time. Some people say this may take months, 6 months, a year. No, babe, I'm talking 2 months tops, depending on which route you take. Not only will I tell you the timeline to become an RBT, but I'm going to give you the strategies in order to shorten that timeline or to decrease the duration of time you spend on each task required for this certification. And throughout this video, I'm going to sprinkle in some ABA terms, so we're going to have the opportunity to study while we learn resources. It's just a win-win. But before we get started, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I really need you to subscribe. You guys always come back and watch the videos. I love you for that. But I need to know who's in the building. I need to know who's a part of my community. So hit that subscribe button and share this with another aspiring RBT. All right, let's get right into it. First thing you want to do is start early. Start as early as you can. I don't know where you are in your career right now, but you can become an RBT as soon as you graduate high school, as soon as you get your GED. So start as early as possible. I even like going to high schools for career day and letting them know that this is an option. Everybody doesn't have to be the same type of social service worker. Everyone doesn't have to make an impact in the same way. We all want to make an impact, but this can be your individualized route. When you start early, you already have access to a clinic, how a clinic is run, how to navigate challenging behaviors, how to work with the autistic population. So many benefits from starting early so that you can have loads and loads of experience by the time you are a year or 2 in the game. Number 2, apply for the role, even if it's a behavior technician role. So if you were to go on Indeed right now and type in behavior technician roles, there would be RBT roles and then there would be BT roles. Some of the roles can also look like ABA therapist, line therapist. These are all terms that are interchangeable. That just means that you are a behavior technician who haven't sat for the certification or a behavior technician who hasn't passed the exam yet. That's how you get your foot in the door. No, you're not an RBT yet, but you can apply for behavior technician roles. And once you're in, you negotiate all of the things that you need to do in order to become an RBT. Now, this is one of the biggest steps because this gets you access to a BCBA. BCBAs are in demand. It's hard to find one. They're scarce, especially one who is dedicated to helping you build your career. So when you come in as a behavior technician, let your employer know upfront, my goal is to become a registered behavior technician. Do you have a BCBA on staff, or are you contracted with the BCBA who can conduct my RBT competency assessment? That is key. This is where a lot of people get stuck because you can pay for the 40-hour training yourself. You can pay for the application to sit for the exam yourself. You cannot find or pay for your own BCBA. You in this BCBA have to work at the same company or they have to be contracted at your agency. So the goal is to get into an agency. Even if it's as a behavior technician, get assigned to a BCBA, someone who is agreeing to conduct your RBT competency assessment. Once you find someone to do your RBT competency assessment, then that is pretty much the only thing that is out of your control. You have controlled all of the uncontrollables, okay? So you can't control whether you can find a BCBA or not, But once you get your foot in the door as a BT and let them know I want to become an RBT, please assign me to a BCBA who can do my RBT competency assessment, then you have solved the biggest piece of the puzzle. Now you can start taking your 40-hour training. Now, I know they tell you to do it the other way around. Take your 40-hour training and then take your RBT competency assessment. But like I said, that was the step that was getting most people stuck. So I say find that BCBA first, then go ahead and take your 40-hour RBT training. So you have two options. You can ask your company, hey, can you enroll me in the latest 40-hour RBT training? Or if they are not invested in your career like that, or they keep giving you the runaround, or they keep pushing it off, it's okay. Find your own updated 40-hour RBT training. You take ownership or take onus of that part of your career. Don't let that stop you. I will list some of the most updated 40-hour RBT trainings in this video that you can take. You don't need anybody's permission to go ahead and take that 40-hour training. So you take that training. But just like we said, this video is about how to become an RBT in the quickest way possible. When you take your 40-hour RBT training, try to make it as close to 40 hours as you can. Let me explain. When you purchase the 40-hour RBT training, they're going to give you 180 days to finish it. So you can take anywhere between a week or 5.5 months to finish it. If we're talking about becoming an RBT as quick as possible, we're not going to take that whole 5 months to take this 40-hour training. I say just knock it out every single day. Do modules and modules and modules. And the reason that's important, because the quicker you finish your 40-hour RBT training, then you are building fluency. That is accuracy plus speed, right? Meaning you're getting all of the answers correctly and you're doing it in under an hour. You're doing it in under 1 week, or you're doing it within 3 weeks. That is what you need in order to pass the RBT exam or even to pass your BCBA exam. That is how you hold on to information when you are fluent in that information. You should be able to answer it correctly and answer it quickly. So the quicker you finish your 40-hour training, the quicker you can become an RBT, but it's also building your fluency with retaining and learning the information. So if you want a way to hold yourself accountable, book your RBT competency assessment when you first start. Say, hey, okay, I'm going to start my 40-hour training. I'm giving myself 60 days to complete this training. I want to schedule my RBT competency assessment in exactly 60 days. So that way you're already on their schedule. They know that you're serious, but it also holds you accountable because now everybody is waiting for you to finish these 40 hours so that you can move to the next step. You can't do the competency assessment without the 40-hour training. So if you want a way to hold yourself accountable, go ahead and schedule your competency assessment with the BCBA and letting them know, hey, I'm going to be done within 50 days. I'm going to be done 60 days tops. So can I get on your schedule so that we can speed this process along? The next strategy is to use this language daily. If you're waiting in between your sessions, if you're waiting in traffic, you just want to use this ABA jargon everywhere you go, at the grocery store, with your friends, with your spouse, with your colleagues. Just use this language as much as possible so that you're always studying. Don't just watch the training, live the training, be the training. Train other people on the training. It's going to help you retain this information. I made a whole video on how to pass the competency assessment, and I made a video on how to study for your RBT exam. But basically, you want to create some study habits. So while you're taking a 40-hour training, while you're preparing for your competency assessment, after you've passed your competency assessment, Don't stop studying. Continue to studying. That can look like making flashcards with the terms on the front and the vocab word on the back, and timing yourself and see how quickly you can define latency and frequency and duration and inner response time and DRO procedure and DRA procedure and just all of these things, right? You're going to want to know those terms. It's just like you're learning a new language. And then just go back and watch all of my RBT videos. Just watch them on repeat. I promise they're going to get you ready. Look at some of the feedback and some of the comments of aspiring RBTs that are now current RBTs. Trust me, the videos will get you right. So right now, if we're looking at the timeline, we found a job, we found a BCBA who's going to do our competency assessment. We've already gotten on their schedule. We're in the process of taking our 40-hour training. We're doing that within 60 days instead of 80 days. Now we're taking our competency assessment. Oh, guess what? You passed. Now the clock is really ticking, because now you only have 90 days from the time you pass your competency assessment to submit all of your paperwork and apply to take the exam. Here's a tip to help with that process. Create your BACB account early. At any point, create an account with the BACB so that when it's time to upload your documents, you're not fumbling around creating a username and password and trying to figure out where everything goes. Create your account now. See yourself as that person. You are already that RBT. So go ahead, create your account, and it's going to give you an account number. This account number is so important because your BCBA will have to put your account number on your competency assessment. They will also have to put your account number on your attestation form. Let's talk about that for 1 minute. Your attestation form is another document that your BACB has to sign immediately after you take your RBT competency assessment. This proves that you work at the same company. This also proves that you have taken a criminal background check within the last 180 days. So you can do all of this when you start your new job. While you're onboarding, you would have taken your criminal background check, and within those first 2 weeks, within those first 2 months, on all the steps that you need to become an RBT, while your criminal background check is still in effect. If you wait 6 months after you get hired, you're going to need another criminal background check. So that is a requirement in order to continue on to the next step of the process. And remember, you only have 90 days to get the rest of this done. But guess what? You don't need 90 days. You're going to do it in 2 weeks. Once your BCBA signs off on all of your paperwork, you immediately go over to the BACB website. You upload that you completed your 40-hour training and your certification. You upload that you have completed your competency assessment and it is signed by your BCBA. You upload your attestation form and you choose your test date. And this video is about being an RBT as soon as possible. So why are we waiting 2 to 3 months to test? No, let's test as soon as possible while it is fresh in our mind. Now, I'm not saying test while you're stressed. I'm not saying test while you got a million things on your caseload. Make your test date make sense, but don't drag it out. So if we were to use behavior analysis, let's decrease the inter-response time in between all of these steps. From the time you identify your BCBA to the time you start your 40-hour training to the time you finish your competency assessment to the time you create your account to the time you apply for the exam. Let's decrease the time in between responses, right? Let's not let it be 3 months in between each of those tasks. How about a week or 2 in between? Talking about measurement, let's also work on decreasing the duration of time that we are spending on each of these tasks. For example, the 40-hour training, they give you 180 days, or you can take it in 2 weeks. You decide. For the competency assessment, you can take it in 1 session or you can take it over multiple sections. If you study and you watch my video on how to pass your competency assessment, you can be one and done. And then we move on to the next. And let's not forget that the RBT exam is a timed test. So time is of the essence. Let me say this. This is the fastest way to get those 3 letters behind your name. But quality of services, cultural humility, compassionate care, person-centered planning, all of that comes with time and experience. I'm not trying to teach you how to rush the process, right? Sometimes you just like this is not going to help you to become a better therapist. It's just going to get you in the therapist role a lot quicker. You still want to take your time and just take it all in. Be receptive to feedback. Be willing and open to learn from other RBTs that you admire. Seek out mentorship. Continue to practice these terms even if you're no longer using them in the clinic. And let's not forget the clients. Learn from the clients. Learn to listen to them. And if they're non-vocal verbal, listen to what their behavior is telling you. Learn to respect their assent, even if they can't give consent. And keep doing professional development units or PDUs. Not only is it a new requirement, but it is going to help mold and shape you into the RBT that you need to be. Hopefully this helps you sprint to the finish line. And if you enjoyed any part of this video, please do not hesitate to give it a thumbs up, like this video, share it with another RBT. I will link everything in the description. I'm not gonna leave you out there like that. I will see you on the next one. Bye. So glad that you stayed to the end of this video, because Instagram, if you are looking for me on Instagram, my old Instagram got disabled. I put my new Instagram in the show notes. Please, please, please follow me on Instagram so we can stay connected in a deeper way. All right. Okay, bye for real this time.